Embossed backgrounds add a touch of elegance to any card or scrapbook page, and there are lots of great ways to achieve this look, from embossing folders to textured plates. But I like to use my Scor-Pal as one of the ways to create some great textured background paper. Here are the tools and products you're going to need to do this technique. First, you're going to need a Scor-Pal scoring board. You're also going to need some cardstock, and I've cut this piece of cardstock to measure 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. Then you're going to need some complementary ink, and I'm using the Vivid Vintage Green. That's a nice complementary color for the Gina K Designs Pure Luxury Fresh Asparagus cardstock. And you're going to need some sort of sponge, and I'm using a jumbo sponge dauber. So to begin, you're going to find the mark on your Scor-Pal that's 5.5 inches. And you're going to line up your piece of cardstock on an angle so that the top right-hand point and the bottom left-hand point are laying within the groove of that 5.5 inch score line. And then you're going to score all the way down. You're going to move over 1/2 inch and do it again. And again at the next 1/2 inch mark, and you're going to continue that pattern on each 1/2 inch until you get to the very end. Then you're going to flip it around and match up the same 2 points just like that. This is your finished scored side, and you're going to begin again doing 1/2 inch score lines going straight across the whole card. Okay, so now you've created lines that go in one direction. The next step will be to make the lines go in the opposite direction. So you're going to line up those same, using that same score line, you're going to line up the opposite 2 points. So right now your score lines are going this way. And you're going to repeat the whole process by scoring down every 1/2 inch line on your whole piece of cardstock. Turn it around again, back on that 5.5 inch mark, and every 1/2 inch down. Now, one of the things that's really cool about this is because you're actually starting on those corners, you have a perfectly even row of half diamonds going around the whole perimeter, so it's perfectly centered. And you can see now how nice that is with that diamond textured plate. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to grab a piece of scratch paper here and my sponge dauber and some of that vintage green ink, and I'm going to highlight those raised edges just by lightly rubbing the sponge over that contains some ink so it only hits the raised edges. And that's going to make it pop a little bit more. Okay. You can see here, I'm just rubbing it lightly, and you can see how that's starting to pop out. The less pressure you put, the better, because it's just going to grab the top. Now you've completely accented all those scored lines, and you've deepened the look of that embossed background. And here is a finished project that I made. I made a card using this background technique, a birthday card. And you can see how nice and elegant it looks just sitting behind that focal image. Try embossing a single strip of cardstock as an accent piece, or emboss the background of an entire 8x8 scrapbook page for a tasteful, textured look.